I'm going to be doing a talking about my dreams and visions. I'm going to basically, sorry if I look like a mess, but basically, I'm going to be doing a video about my dreams and visions. I'm going to try and break this up so I can do this separately, and I actually don't have a lot of storage on my phone. I wrote everything down. The first thing I want to talk about is the shift change and how things are not going to go. I have a real feeling that things are not going to go like how people think they're going to go. So recently, a change is coming. I follow her. She talked about the shift change and how the coming shift change basically is going to be where it'll be like a Mandela effect, where people will be in one place, where basically buildings will be in one place. They'll be in one place and then they'll be in the other. People's characteristics will change. Everything about them will change. Her daughter was talking about in one of her videos that decisions on like being a pop star, these things, and then another lady that she linked in from 2-3 weeks ago, and she talked about how she saw flying cars and all this other stuff, and I'm going to talk about mine because after what a change is coming said, and what the lady said, I got a dream. I got dreams and visions, and I got confirmation. And normally, you know when somebody is telling the truth from God, when God gives you confirmation, whether it be in your dreams, whether it be through a random sign, or whatever the case may be, God always gives you confirmation. So I'm going to talk about mine. The first one, the first time, I think it was one of the videos that A Change Is Coming did. She talked about how God. She talked about how she had a dream in which basically she was in a city. If I'm remembering this, she was in a city and basically the universe opened up and people were just blissfully ignorant walking around. She was baffled, and her and another, I think it was a guy in the dream, and she talked about how the universe just opened. And I had that same dream. I had a dream that I was in New York City and I was walking on the street because I've actually been in New York City. I went there when I was like 18 or 19. And basically, I was in New York City just walking around, and then randomly, the sky opened, the universe opened. I saw the stars, the universe, everything, and it was confirmation after I watched her video. And literally, I said, "Oh my God!" Like it was seeing is believing. It was too good to be true. And then within that moment, basically, I started to change. I started to basically change physically, and I felt abundance. It's a thing when when you feel the spirit of God come upon you. Basically, I felt abundance. I felt that I was richer than what I was because I'm not rich now. I basically, and that was pretty much it really. And then somebody that I knew that I have to talk about in later videos, literally was in a sunken place, and I mean that highly. So that was my first dream of when the universe opened up. So let me scratch this out because I have it written down. And then my second dream basically is the shift change of when I think it was no. That's I got to talk about that later. Then there was the fact that I had a dream randomly one night, and I was asleep. And to put this into perspective, basically, go on YouTube and type in "The Sunken Place Get Out." And in "The Sunken Place Get Out," the main character, he's being he gets drugged. This is just me adding description adding description on what happened to me. And basically the main character, he basically gets drugged and he gets pulled into darkness, and he's crying, all this other stuff. Well, the same thing happened to me, but the complete opposite. I was asleep one night, and basically I was asleep one night, and basically I saw God sitting on a throne in his chair, and it was weird. It was like he was sitting. It was like he was sitting, like on top of the universe. It was weird. He was sitting in his chair, and then randomly, his chest started to glow. It was this light radiating from his heart, and God was sitting in his throne. And then the next thing you know, it skips, and then God literally pulls me in my sleep, and I enter the abundant place, not the sunken place, but the abundant place. And basically, if you look up the sunken place and Get Out, how it's just nothing but darkness and void, it was a complete opposite. After I saw God's heart, it started to glow, and there was this golden light coming from his chest. And then literally after it skips, basically I get pulled in my sleep, and then everything around me is like that main character from Get Out. Everything around me is just gold. Everything, there's no fire, there's no darkness, none of that. Everything around me, everything around me is absolute gold. And all of a sudden, God is showing me something, and then the next thing I know, I'm on stage. And I'm a writer in my personal life. I'm on stage. That's always been my dream, to be on stage. I'm on stage, and I'm literally reading a notebook of, like, I write poetry, I write rhymes, and I'm literally reading on stage, and I'm standing next to Biggie Smalls. And I knew it was Biggie Smalls. I don't look at pictures of Biggie Smalls. I haven't actually looked at a picture of Biggie Smalls in years. But basically, that was just a sign of that God was basically there. And when the shift change happens, like a change is coming, talked about, people's basically their dreams will be basically fulfilled from what I've gotten. And the prophets have to be in a certain place to minister and all that other stuff. And so that happened to me. And then after that, really, I woke up. And it was so beautiful. It was so surreal that I literally woke up crying. So there was that. And then I've had the coming shift change. I've had constant dreams and visions of me looking different. I'm taller than what I am. I've also been told from God that when the shift change happens, change is coming. She talked about how people won't remember her. I've had that confirmation. I've had multiple dreams of basically my brain being hardwired and rewired and everything. And I don't know certain people, which is basically for the personal good, for my well-being, because those people are spiritually dead. And then I had this dream. And then recently there was a dream, basically, I'm gonna write this while I'm talking. I had a dream that basically I was on a beach, and I was on a beach, and I was looking at the sand, and then there was this stick, and that was writing, "A change is coming." Let me be more descriptive. A change is coming. And then it literally, it wrote this, and then it circled it. It wrote this. It wrote, "A change is coming." And then above this, it wrote the arrow. And then it wrote shift. And then it circled it. And it said, "A shift change is coming." And that was when I saw the four horsemen of the apocalypse. But basically, they looked like they were made of sand. And they it's like how you see in movies how I guess like an image of a character or something, like it goes past an individual. It's hard to describe. But basically that happened, and all of a sudden I see myself literally. I'm literally dressed in all white. This actually has never happened to me before. I have two other videos. I was dressed in all white, an all white gown, and I had a crown on my head. I can also feel everything in my dreams. I got to talk about my personal spiritual testimony or whatever, but basically I had a crown on my head and I was a king. And basically that really just verifies the coming shift change that's going to happen. And the last time actually I had, this is actually recent actually, but the last time I had a vision of the four horsemen of the apocalypse was literally years ago when Donald Trump was in office, and I saw, and I think I posted, it's in a book I wrote, but basically I saw one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, and literally right after I saw them, the next thing I knew we were going to war, and well, we were going to, but we never did. I think it was North Korea wanted to go to war with us, and then that happened months later. In which the season we're in now we have people that want to bomb us. So that's pretty much it as far as the shift change goes. So when a change is coming, when she said that, people's minds will be white, people will look different, all this other stuff, it's a real thing, and I actually experienced this. So this is it for this first video. The second video, I'm going to talk about, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I'm going to talk about a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, and that'll be it. And have a blessed day.